Hey everyone, this is Christian C, and welcome to this module called Introduction to Law of Duality. I can describe what the Law of Duality is all about in one word: transcendence. The main purpose of using our energy is to transcend ourselves through our universe, through our journey. Law of Duality will help you within your journey in attaining higher vibrations in order to ascend towards your destiny. Think of it this way: instead of walking along our journey, we can be flying along on our journey. This is often called ascension, when we are no longer just walking through our journey, but we get to fly. In a spiritual, energy-based sense, it means that we elevate our good energy. Duality will happen whether you want it or not. And if this is the case, why not allow this synchronicity to occur in order to benefit you? And also, in order to bring you a healing light that inspires you, instead of ignoring it and allowing low vibrations to automatically run your life. The energy of duality is used so we can work through our energy blocks, clear them, and be inspired while we transcend through our journey. This is a process that can help you and inspire you to shift your mindset and elevate your energy so that you may accomplish your goals and your dreams. On a deeper level, it's about allowing the energy of duality to make the right connections you want instead of leaving it up to chance. Duality is about energy, our own inner energy, and other energies within the universe, wherever they might come from. It's about gaining greater awareness of those energies, but in a way that really motivates and inspires us. Even though duality has existed through the ages, and it has been expressed through many different schools of thought and religions, I'm revealing this newer concept called Law of Duality. And I didn't invent this process necessarily, but rather I came to discover it through many years of energy work with lots of trial and error, and ultimately just discovering what works best. I developed a process for myself that worked best in delivering the results I wanted, and primarily it showed me a way to achieve my goals and to really connect my energy in a way that helped me with what I wanted, in the way that helped me the most. This is something that I'm simply really proud of to have become aware of. And it's something that I simply could not learn and attain through countless of quote-unquote gurus and teachers that I previously studied. This is because I did learn many things from spiritual gurus, but my main problem was that I would just forget most of their teachings, and I would just not utilize so many things that were given to me. I either couldn't remember their wise teachings, or I simply could not put them into action at the right time within the context of the challenge I was facing at the moment. Therefore, I decided to create something so simple that I knew I could not forget. And I was really astonished when I began getting so much more than what I was asking for, when I began to succeed and make progress in areas I thought I would never make progress in. And that led me to really develop, hone, and sharpen this process that I ended up calling Law of Duality. So again, I just want to reiterate that this process is a process of energy awareness, of transformation, of ascension. And of course, I did not invent these ideas. These ideas are universal. You could see them through nature. You could see them through various super successful people. You could see the ideas, techniques, and insights in parallels throughout our world, throughout our life, because they exist. So therefore, I simply dubbed them with the name Law of Duality. And I just want you to use what is useful for you, what really works best for you. And if you have any questions or if something is not necessarily to your liking, then simply put it off to the side and perhaps revisit it at a later time. But just find ways and energy that will ultimately get you to ascend. So, coming back to this, it was something I created for myself, but soon I just began to grow more and more within it. And I could just see how well it benefited me and it benefited others. So I began allowing the system to bloom and I added more pieces to it. I believe that any challenge we might have or any dream you like to come true, it all begins with just a bit of imagination and a simple mind shift into believing that it's possible and allowing your energy to transcend to a higher frequency. Law of Duality is like a vehicle that gets you to your destination, and it gets you there much faster, almost as if you were flying rather than walking. This is because it helps you elevate your energy along your journey. A good analogy I like to use is that of instead of facing and walking through your challenges, now you could fly and soar through them. And it all begins within your inner energy. This is possible with a shift in perspective and beliefs, inspiration, and determination. So, are you ready to swiftly create lasting change for the better? I hope so, because in this guide, I will give you my best insights that I personally use to face challenges and move forward in my own personal journey, and which helped me accomplish many things I never thought I would reach before. In this guide, we will also go for techniques that will give you what you desire by directly tapping into the two most important areas of your journey, which are your ego and your higher self. I will go more in depth into what these two areas mean, but for now, know that if you meet the needs of these two areas, you will see amazing results happening right away. I want to keep things as simple as possible so that you may find this process easy and even fun to put into action and ultimately get the results you desire. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to serve my ego. I'm not here to serve myself. I'm here to be service of you. So if there are any questions, any comments, anything that you are not clear about or you want to expand upon, or perhaps even insights that you want to share, experiences, feel free to contact me. Feel free to get in touch, and we will move on from there on. So it is important to make this distinction about what I just mentioned about wanting to keep things simple, because making this distinction, it's easy to get caught up on words and their true meaning. And it's easy to get caught up in literal interpretations and whatnot. So let me give you an example. When we talk about the higher self, some can argue that we should instead focus on the sacred self. Some people say, no, it's not the higher self. It's not the sacred self. It's the highest self. And they might tell you this long tale about certain characters, certain spiritual tales and whatnot. But know that it's just, in a way, it's just semantics, I guess. My point is that don't let these mere wordplay and semantics distract you from what matters the most, and that is getting you the right results. And this goes back to my point that this is not necessarily a story about me. It's not necessarily about my actions, but rather I want you to use any information that I'm sharing about my techniques, my journey, as a reflection that can help you. So again, I'm here to be of service. So I ask that you keep an open mind while going through this program. And if you come across something that really works for you, then great, use it. If there's something that does not work for you or does not vibe with you, then simply don't use it and perhaps you can revisit it at a later time. Law of Duality is about flexibility in building a process that gets you better results within your energy. And if any part of it feels like it's hindering you or you don't feel it's necessary, then be flexible enough to try things in a different way and see what works best for you. And I would strongly suggest that you keep a journal of your progress, a simple booklet or online journal where you can record all of your actions, what you tried, and the results you've gotten. You get to decide what to put into this journal, your thoughts, questions, challenges, results, dreams. And if you like, you could share them with others. You could share those insights with me, or you could just keep them all to yourself. I'm a strong believer that in order to make progress, we need to record the results we get. Perhaps in a journal, perhaps even an audio recording will help. And not just record them, but find ways to continue to make them better. A quantifiable process must be able to be measured and with recorded results in order to be able to ascend from where you are and where you would like to be. Again, what this means is that in order to ascend and see progress within our journey, it helps us greatly if we record our wins and our losses and we take notes. And again, this sounds very simple to do, and it might sound like something you heard 1,000 times before. But if we do it, if we apply it, it's so powerful. It's so powerful to keep data. Or if you don't want to call it data, if you want to keep it more on an energy level, it's powerful to keep your vibes, your insights, your emotions on paper, in writing, and later use them to further help you. And again, if you don't want to see this as being too technical or too data-driven, if you're not that kind of person, then it's okay. Just have that shift in your viewpoint as seeing it perhaps as a novel, perhaps as a fiction tale that you're writing or a drama that one day will come to light. So if you want to see it in that direction, if that helps you, then go for it. The simplicity of Law of Duality is in delivering great results fast and swiftly. Instead of spending months or years mastering a process, I have broken it down to give you a powerful process that you can easily learn within a short time span. And if I could explain a little bit on this, I would say that for years, I would learn from guru after guru and always become so frustrated because most of the things that I've learned and spent a lot of money and time on, it would simply turn out that I would simply forget most of it. At times, I would remember a few things from perhaps an intellectual mindset, but even the things that I was able to recall, when the time came to apply them, unfortunately, they would simply vanish. So my mind would just freeze and I would forget any sort of wisdom or learnings that I had previously studied for a long time and I spent a lot of money on. So what good is it to learn something if when you step up to the plate, you simply don't know what to do? I call this automatic amnesia, and it's the opposite of how we should spend our time learning. So if you have the classical or the more scholastic way of learning, if that works for you, great. But if it doesn't, like it did not work for me, then perhaps we should develop different processes that will help you not only recall, but actually apply what it is that you need to apply at certain moments. So that is part of the journey that I embarked upon in learning how to automatically recall processes, actions, thoughts, productivity, and in a creative, original way in which it helped me deal with certain situations. It helped me be more creative, more productive, and simply on a day-to-day basis. My belief is that the reason why most things that you learn simply evaporate away from your memory and into the ether is that we do not ingrain what is important into two main areas, and that being our ego and higher self. And the beauty of this is that we can automatically do it once we develop a process to ascend with our inner energy. If we magnify what we learn through our ego and higher self, then the knowledge we have acquired becomes ingrained within us, so we may use it and have it accessible whenever we wish, and therefore being able to use key principles and techniques just at the right time. And this reminds me of one of the deadliest traps that we can fall into, and that is the I already know that trap. So what is the I already know that trap? This is when you come across something in your mind and you say, I already know what that's about. I understand it. And there's not much I can learn that is new. And there's not much that you can tell me. And this is a trap because it prevents us from engaging and ascending into a higher level. And you can apply this to almost anything. And understand that, in a way, it's really not about knowing, but rather ascending with the energy within us and around us while letting go of energy blocks that hold us down. I ask that if you feel that you already know something, simply utilize it, take action, and see if you can get better results than what you have gotten before. When you shift your perspective and your mindset and your energy to build a process that works, you'll be way ahead of the game. When you begin to shift what was considered impossible into an energy process via the energy of duality, you will begin to see new spaces open up with new possibilities. So let's get started.